Hello, Millwall fans. Paul Eiffel here. It's time for Chat with Chaps.
Hello and welcome to Chat with Chaps with your host, Joe Zampa. This is quite emotional actually for me today. This is the last post-match analysis I'll be filling in for Chris while he's still on holiday. So, I just want to take this moment to say thank you, guys. Thank you for your lovely comments. Thank you for your likes and shares and stuff. When Chris first asked me to step in for him, as you can imagine, he's got extremely large shoes to fill, as you can appreciate. And you don't say about people with large shoes, they usually have big hands, don't they? But he asked me to step in. It was quite daunting. It still is, to be fair. But I must say I've really enjoyed it. I love the interaction with you guys in the comments as well. And thank you for being kind to me and not slating me too much, even if I get the score line wrong at times. But I do really appreciate the comments and the love you show. Thanks very much. Before I forget, again, you know what I'm going to say. Please like the show. If you don't like it, just like it. It all helps with the algorithms. As you know, we are trying to raise lots of money for charity, for Cancer Research UK. So by you liking, commenting, and all that sort of jazz, it just really sort of helps bring more traffic, more flow to the channel, and hopefully we'll make more money and offer a bit more money for charity come end of season. So I just want to say a big thank you to the again, all the guys that come up to me before games or during games and compliment me on the show. Really appreciate the kind comments. Really kind of you guys. Before yesterday's game, I saw a few of the guys from the Chat with Chaps podcast. There you go. There's a picture from Ari's bar. Faces only a mother could love, eh? What can I say? They're a good bunch. Fortunately, Disco and Ben wasn't able to make it. Of course, Chris is away at the moment as well. But good to see a good bunch of the guys there. Always good laugh and good to have a catch up. So let's just dive straight into it, shall we? So yesterday saw two changes. No surprises. Well, it might be a surprise to some. Jensen has come back in goal for Roberts. So luckily, it seems like whatever injury he felt he had in the game against Luton wasn't as severe or as bad as first thought, luckily. So he made a miraculous recovery. So he came back in he had a decent game, to be fair. There's only one small sort of hiccup that we'll touch on a little bit later, but I thought generally, I think he was pretty sound in goal. Jensen, good to see him back. Also, a debut for Luke Cundall, who comes in for Duncan Watmore, who comes in and plays the number 10 role. And I thought he'd done really well. But again, we'll talk about him in a little bit more detail as the show goes on. So got some stats here for you guys. Not many this time, but I've got a few for you. So the stats I've found were prior to yesterday's game, Millwall had only won just 3 of the last 13 games against QPR. So bit of a bogey side, I guess, in some sort of ways. QPR have been, haven't they, over recent years? So it's good to get a win yesterday. Obviously, I don't know if I said it yet. The game ended Millwall 2, QPR 1. Hopefully, I got that one right. When you look at QPR's recent form, I think they've been doing quite decent in the league. Looking at the last 2 away games, they've won their last 2 away. That was against Plymouth and Hull. And I think they were trying to get a third against themselves, which would have been some kind of record for them, which would have gone back sort of 20 or 30 years, I believe. So I'm quite pleased we managed to stop that record. But that's pretty much it, really. Oh, there's one more stat, sorry. Millwall have only won, I think it was 1 game in our last 7 at home. That game would have been Blackburn, would be 1-0 on the 21st of December. So it's quite good to get a win at home. It felt, it's been quite a while since that home win's been there. So I'm glad we kind of got that monkey off our back a little bit and get back to winning ways. So, guys, if any of you were late for kickoff, I feel sorry for you because what a start. in the first minute. In fact, it was in 32 seconds we scored, and the goal sort of started from Bangura Williams, who was playing on the right hand side yesterday, and he sort of picks up the ball, plays a little ball into Kramer, who does a 1-2 with Kundal. And what I was really impressed with Kundal yesterday is his link up play. Yeah, we've seen lots of players play at number 10 role, but Kundal looks so comfortable in that role. You know, you can see he's a team player. The little 1-2s he was playing throughout the game, and the way he kind of picks up the ball and plays it wide and links up really well. And he links up really well with Kramer that time. And by playing the 1-2 with Kramer, he gets his cross in. And initially, his cross is first missed by Ivanovic, who takes a swipe at it and misses the ball completely. But it falls to Connolly. And Connolly just calm as you like, just takes a lovely passing shot, if you like, with the inside of his right foot, and it just sort of curls into the bottom right corner, which kind of wrong foots Nardi in goal. He kind of goes the wrong way, and there you go. Connie sort of goes running off into the corner. His first goal for Millwall. Again, tries the old knee slide, and knee slide's not working at then, is it? I mean, just ask race Bangura sort of Williams. You know, I don't really sort of spray more water in the corners, just purely for goal celebrations, because he tries a knee slide and gets stuck in the mud as well and falls over. But yeah, what a great start, you know, and it really kind of gives us that kind of lift, and we're all sort of like standing there thinking, wow, you know, what a start that is. You know, it couldn't have gone any better. And unfortunately, it didn't sort of materialise at that point, because 2 minutes later, they go the other end and score. Now, the way that goal came about, for me, from where I sit in the top section of the Kitchener stand, I was right on top of it, and how it was like, and I noticed straight away the mistakes there. So I know this probably looks like I'm digging out players here, but I'm going to just give you some sort of snapshots and screenshots, if you like, of what I saw, because I think that goal could have really, really easily been avoided. So apologies if you listen to this on a podcast like Spotify or Apple at the moment, but if you're on YouTube, you will see some pictures on here now. So initially, as that ball is played to Smith, you see how high up the pitch Joe Bryan is. Now, I love what Joe Bryan does recently. What he's doing is he's pressing really high up the pitch, and normally, you know, the winger will have to play the ball backwards, or Joe Bryan puts a foot in or intercepts and he gets in there. But this time, unfortunately, Smith just drops his left shoulder and goes to the right, as you can see from that picture there, and takes Joe Bryan out of the game site. Now, if to the right of that, or where they are, you can see where George Saville is at the moment. And he's kind of got his eye on Morgan, who sort of playing in the number 10 role, who takes a run into that right wing channel. So we're pretty comfortable at this point. Now, if I move this up a little bit to the next sort of slide, you can see where Smith's now cut inside. Joe Bryan's chasing him. Now, Saville is after Morgan here, as you can see from the picture. And he's kind of got one eye on the ball, watching the ball. Now, at this point, I think we're pretty okay. Above Saville, you can see Casper Denora sort of running in, trying to sort of fill in. You've got Tanganga up there, and Cooper is out screenshot at the moment, but he's obviously there covering Lloyd there up front. Now, at this point, what Sav should have done really is just gone with Morgan. He should have filled in that left back spot, let Joe Bryan chase after Smith. Hopefully, Casper will come across and cut him off. And you know, we could have avoided a goal there. But unfortunately, I put a little bit of blame on Saville there, because what he does, he makes the wrong decision. So from this moment, again, apologies if you're not watching this, but is this on YouTube? You can see what's happening. Sav now goes across to try and cut off Smith. Now, he leaves Morgan wide open that right-hand side there. And of course, you know, in real time, you know what happens there. The ball gets played over to Morgan, and Morgan is just free on that right-hand side. Now, at this point, there's still a lot to do, to be fair, because he then has to play the ball inside that inside channel to Lloyd making that run. And Tanganga runs with Lloyd. And to be fair, there's a lot to do. It's a great goal. It's not often I'm sort of sat there, not necessarily applauding an opposition goal, but I just felt, you know what, that was a decent goal, because as that ball's played to Lloyd, he's still got a lot to do. He sort of gives Tanganga a little bit of a shove. He takes the ball very, very wide, and he hits this shot so sort of wide that it's a minute angle he's got to aim for it, because Jensen does everything well. He covers his near post, but what Lloyd does, he shoots it to the left-hand side, which is Jensen's right, and it kind of hits the post and goes in for a really tight angle. And you've got to just hold your hands up and say, you know what, great goal. But the point I'm making is, I'm sure Alex Neil and the coaching staff will probably look back at goals and check things out, but that could have been avoided. I think we could have had a nice, an easier start to the game had that goal been avoided and not happened. 6 minutes later, or rather 3 minutes later, in 6 minutes, Saville wins a tackle. Now, how often have I said, in his match analysis, how vital and important Saville is for us in that midfield? He really does work hard. He puts in big tackles, and he really makes a difference in intercepting, play and kind of setting up attacks. But he does this, and he wins this tackle, and the ball now breaks into to Connolly. Now Connolly plays the ball inside into Ivanovic's feet. Again, Ivanovic's feet. How often I keep saying that we changed our way of playing now, and I love the fact we're playing into feet now, not trying to hit the ball up high to sort of chest or head, but he brings it into Ivanovic's feet. Ivanovic comes to meet it. He just cushions the ball to Bangura Williams. Bangura Williams now looks to his right, and he sees Crammer making his overlapping right again. And I must say, I've been so impressed with Crammer. I know he's getting a lot of plaudits at the moment, and rightly so, but for a centre half, he's been so effective on that right-hand side, and he's created so many goal-scoring opportunities for us by the runs he makes and the balls he puts into the box. And he makes this run on the right-hand side. And as he sort of crosses the ball in, QPR defender Steve Cook, who I think is about 33 years of age, getting on a little bit, but a really good defender, he clears the ball. And as he clears the ball, it breaks out to sort of Tanganga and Lloyd. And I think Lloyd's slightly half asleep here, but Tanganga reads it very quickly, just gets in front of Lloyd, intercepts it, gets on the ball, brings it forward. He plays a lovely little ball into Bangura Williams' feet. And I love the way how sort of Bangura Williams sorts his feet out. And he takes an early shot, and he takes an early shot from the edge of the box. And as he sort of hits this shot to the right-hand side of the post, at this point, Nardi's diving across, and he's really beaten. And I think he kind of gets a hand. I'm sure he gets a finger or a hand to this shot, and he just sort of tips it to the post. And Bangura Williams came so close there to getting our second goal. And I must say, it took an amazing save from Nardi, just sort of touched up that shot onto the post, which is very unfortunate. But again, just shows you the quality that Bangura Williams has for such a young kid. On 15 minutes, there was a QPR chance. So the ball this time was worked out to Ronnie Edwards, who I believe was playing right back yesterday. And he sort of comes inside and he takes a shot from about 30 yards. Now, normally at this point, if someone's having a shot at that distance, that power, you don't really want to be sort of taking any touches or clips to, because it can wrong foot the keeper and go in. But Cooper, being Coops, he's not afraid. He tries to head of the ball, but he sort of skins his forehead, takes a slight deflection, and luckily for us, it goes over the crossbar. I think Jensen was slightly beaten, but luckily for us, it goes over the crossbar and out for a corner. From the resulting corner, I believe it was Powell that takes it. It was an in-swinger from the right-hand side. And as he sort of takes this corner in, it just goes over Jensen's head. And what happens here is quite scary. So Jensen sort of walks backwards and he sort of trips over and falls out. And luckily for us, it sort of wrong foots Steve Cook, who at this point, I think it's at the back post. So I think it's got an easy tap in, but he just sort of completely gets his feet wrong and it goes out for a goal kick. First things when I watched it, I was thinking, what the hell are you doing, Jensen, at this point, especially when you've seen how good Roberts has been in the Portsmouth game when he's catching these crosses. But then looking back through the luxury of watching highlights and replays, I think there's a slight tangle with Tanganga. I think he sort of accidentally clips Jensen's feet or his calf as he's sort of hitting back. And I think Jensen sort of trips over his own feet and goes back, sadly, which is a bit of a mistake there from us, but luckily it doesn't result to anything too serious, and it goes out for a goal kick. On 25 minutes, there is our goal, and how this goal works is Cooper now gets the ball, and at this point Tanganga, because we're an open play at the time, I think he's quite high up the pitch on the right hand side, almost in the right back position, and Cooper sort of plays a lovely ball into Tanganga in the far right. He then plays the ball up to Crammer, and again Crammer is so effective on that right hand side. He gets in a lovely little cross, And this cross goes up into the box. And what I love seeing here is George Saville. And he doesn't do this often, but he used to do this in the earlier days when Saville, was sort of in the first step play for Millwall. He used to get forward quite a lot. I like seeing this. So Saville's in the box and he out jumps sort of 2 or 3 defenders here, and he wins his header. And as he hits his header, it beats Nardin. It hits the crossbar, and as it comes out, luckily for us, Kundal was quicker to react, and Morgan Fox is sort of half asleep here. And as he comes in, he hits his header in, and Nardi's got no chance whatsoever, and he headers the ball and he scores on his debut, which is fantastic. So again, must say, well worked from Crammer. The fact that he gets so many balls in, and he's got some assists. He put some lovely balls, and it's not necessarily always like hope for your best sort of crosses. I like the fact he kind of picks out sort of passes. So I know he's not a right back, and we keep saying yes, he's a centre back. But I tell you what, let's just keep him there for now because he's so effective in those areas, and I do like what I'm seeing. Half time, we're going at 2-1, and I think we deserve to be 2-1 up at that point. Second half, no changes. QPR started better. And I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed that we do start quite slow. We have been starting quite slowly in second half in recent games. It's almost like we're kind of half asleep. I don't know if it's because we're in a good position, maybe because we're winning 2-1 and we're a little bit more relaxed going in there. But I just felt that, once again, the other team sort of started a bit brighter, and QPR started brighter. And they sort of had a lot of possession, trying to create a few chances. So on 52 minutes, Powell wins a cheap free kick off Casper De Norre, where I think he just sort of pulls his arm or tugs him back. Chair, the number 10, takes a free kick, and he's a good player, Chair. I mean, again, he looked decent yesterday. Luckily for us, there wasn't too much end product there for him, but he's dangerous if you let him sort of run the show. And he hits this curling free kick. Now, it looks like an easy, comfortable save here for Jensen, but those free kicks, the way they get sent in and they're curling, all it takes is a very, very slight touch of one of their players, or even one of our players, to wrong foot Jensen, and that could have been 2-2. But he hits his ball in, Jensen sees it coming, holds it well, and luckily for us, it comes to nothing. On 58 minutes, there's a well-worked chance for ourselves. So Connolly gets the ball and he turns inside. And I love how Connolly does this because he's predominantly right-footed, isn't he? He plays on that left side. And when the ball comes to him, the first he's looking to do is sort of drop the shoulder and cut inside. He does it so well. He leaves his man, and as he sort of drives into the QPR box, he sees Ivanovic, and he hits it again, into Ivanovic's feet. Ivanovic gets the ball. He plays it to Kundal. Connolly makes his run, and he carries on running, and Kundal just sort of feeds him in. And again, I love Kundal's link-up play here, the way he sort of plays in that 10. He's a very, very clever player. And if you hear what Alex Neil said after the game, his interview, I think he only had like one training session Kundal with us. Probably not even that. It's probably like half a training session because obviously we're resting players and we've had a lot of games in the last sort of week or two. So he hasn't really had a lot of time to sort of gel with us. But again, you just see the quality that Kundal's got yesterday by the link-up play, and he just gets it. He knows what he's doing, and he plays Connolly in. Now, in the last game against Portsmouth, Connolly cuts his ball back, doesn't he, to the back post, where Bangura Williams unfortunately missed his chance. But this time, it kind of goes for goal. And I'd rather him sort of pass or account for a pass, because I think Ivanovic makes a run, and even Bangura Williams, to be fair, makes a run at the far post. But he goes for the shot, and unfortunately, it doesn't sort of mount to much, and a bit of a waste opportunity here for us. On 64 minutes, QPR makes some subs. So Saito comes on for Morgan, and I've seen Saito before, and he is a decent player. I really do like him. Very sort of tricky player. And Ashby comes on for Cook as well. On 70 minutes, only a few minutes later, it doesn't take very long for Saito to try and impact the game. He's a very sort of tricky winger, and he sort of gets the ball. And I think this chance comes in originally from a throw-in, where the ball sort of played out to him, and he gets the ball, and he's on a 1v1 with Crammer here. Now, he could go inside. I think he did go a couple of times inside and kind of beat Crammer, but this time he just tries a very cute little cross and he finds Lloyd in the middle. Lloyd goes for the header, but thankfully for us, that header sort of bounces and just goes wide of the goal. I think Jens had it covered, but again, it was another chance there for QPR. On 72 minutes, QPR corner. Again, Powell, their left back, takes it. And it's an interesting one because I think normally we're pretty sound from set pieces, but I think Coops just falls slightly asleep here at this point. As the cross comes in, Morgan Fox sort of leaves him, runs to the near post, and Cooper just can't quite get to him. And Morgan Fox hits his header really well. It's a real kind of point blank header, if you like. And Jensen makes a fantastic save. Now, in first viewing from where I sat, it looked like he really had to sort of dive across his goal to make this save. But looking again at the replay, I won't say it's a comfortable save, but it's in reach, if you like. So he has to make the little adjustment to his left, but he makes a great save nonetheless. The ball then kind of ricochets out, gets bounced around. We don't really clear properly. The ball then falls to Saito again, who has a shot, and I think sort of takes a bit of a deflection. Jensen sort of picks up the ball, claims the ball, and lucky for us, that attack is over. On 76 minutes. QPR makes some subs. Interesting at this point, because I thought that we needed to make some subs at this point, but Millwall don't make any subs. And I can only imagine that Alex Neil's probably thinking at this stage, we haven't really got the attacking options at the moment to bring players on and make a difference. And I think he probably felt it was too early to kind of park the bus. So he didn't really make any substitution at this point, but QPR do in 76 minutes. And they bring in the young 18-year-old from Tottenham Hotspur, who I believe they've got on loan, who makes his debut. Young Asian player called Yang Min Hoink. I think that's his name. So Yang Min Hoink comes on. And again, he looks really lively. He plays on the right-hand side. I believe Michael Frey enters the fray. See what I've done there? And he comes on for Smith. And if you remember Michael Frey, he had a decent game in the return fixture when we played them at the start of the season, I believe, at Loftus Road when he played up front. He scored against us as well. So he's a big lump up front who has got decent feet. He's got a bit of pace as well. So he comes on as well. And immediately at this point, Ivanovic has the ball and he kind of loses the ball, which is very rare Ivanovic, because I think when the ball's played to his feet, normally he's pretty good. But at this point, he kind of almost, I don't know what he does here. He kind of like, his touch is too heavy and he kind of loses the ball. And I don't know if this is tired legs here at this point, but what was really disappointing for me to see here is when he loses the ball and Yang Min Hoik sort of dispossesses him, he kind of almost gives up trying, almost kind of leaves it to Joe Bryan to deal with, which I didn't think was great. But again, it just looked like he was a bit tired there, a little bit leggy. He kind of almost like leaves it to Joe to sort of deal with it. So Yang Min Hoik runs the ball at this point. He does a 1-2 with Lloyd. It was a lovely little 1-2. And he smashes this shot with real sort of power. And again, Jensen makes a fantastic save here, and it goes out for a goal kick. And I was really impressed once again with Jensen. On 78 minutes, Saito again on the other side creates a very, very well chance. This time he cuts inside Kramer to the byline. Kramer's completely beat at this point, and he cuts this lovely ball back to Sam Field, who shoots the ball first time. Now, even on the action replay, even on the highlights, it's very difficult to see what actually happened here from the camera angle. But it looks like it takes some kind of deflection. I don't know if it's off Tanganga or if it's off Jensen. But luckily, it doesn't amount to much. We kind of block the shot, and it sort of goes away. So it's very hard to sort of see what happened there. But it'd be interesting in the comments, guys, if you have a better view of it than I did. But it looked like it might have been a Jensen block, but I'm not sure for certain. On 79 minutes, so this is after the attack on the resulting throw-in. Again, the ball was worked out now to QPR's right, and the cross comes in. And as the cross comes up high, Michael Frey actually out-jumps Tanganga with a header, and he hits his header. At this point, my heart's in my mouth thinking, no, please don't do this to me again. And he headers the ball, and luckily for us, it goes wide of the left post. On 80 minutes, we make our our first sort of substitute. So Ryan Wintle comes on for Casper De Norre. And I can only imagine at this point, that Alex Neil wants some fresh legs in midfield. Ryan Wintle does do that quite well. He does cover a lot of ground. He's very good at sort of, when we haven't got the ball, he's very good at sort of, nullifying the opposition team. And he does like putting tackles in. So he does that. And I think that's more of a tactical substitution there from Alex Neil. Not a lot happened for the next sort of 10 minutes, despite lots of QPR possession. And I think that's a credit to the way Millwall defended. So that kind of worked very, very well in our favour. I believe there was 6 minutes added time, but on 89 minutes, we make a whole bunch of subs. And Alex Neil brings on, pretty much like we did in the last game against Pompey, he brings on Mitchell, Honeyman and Langstaff for Bangura Williams, Connolly and Ivanovic. So again, what's going to happen here. He's parking the bus a little bit. He knows we're going to have ball for a little while, and he wants the players that he can rely on and trust are going to work hard and start pressing and start tackling and make it difficult and be very compact and make it difficult for QPR to break us down. And that kind of like sees out the game, if you like, for the next sort of 5-6 minutes. We played the ball up in their far corner for a couple of minutes, which kind of helped us waste a little bit of time. And there you have it, guys. Full time. We win. 2-1 to us, and 3 wins on the bounce, 9 points out of 9, and we're suddenly up to 13th place, 4 points behind West Brom in 6th. I believe Middlesbrough in 7th with a game in hand. But it just puts us in a really, really, really strong position. And I must say, leaving the den yesterday, you get a real sort of sense of positivity around the place. You look at the signs we've made and the potential signs that still going to come through the door. The way the players are playing, the way they're responding to Alex Neil, there's lots and lots of to be positive and happy about at the moment. There's a real good feeling at the moment, the way things are going. There are a few positives. I guess there's only one sort of negative I can really sort of point out. That probably will be the mistake we made for the goal. We do seem to gift the other team's goals quite often. It's not often that other teams score against us and they've really worked hard for their goals. Again, if we just sort of cut out these mistakes and not gift the opposition these chances, I think our lives and our hearts will feel a lot easier and not beat so hard in these games and not be so nerve-wracking. But lots of positives. The positive for me again was Crammer. I just think he's so effective. I mean, there's no surprise that 2 goals that we scored came from that right-hand side. Again, it was Crammer's ball. Okay, not directly for the second goal, but for the first goal, he gets the assist. The second goal, it was his cross that goes into Saville before it hits the crossbar. And he's just so effective, Crammer. For a centre-half, he's almost kind of, making Joe Bryan look bad on the other side, because Joe Bryan doesn't really seem to get as many balls in or crosses in as much as Crammer does. And Crammer's not even an out-and-out fullback. So fair play to Crammer. I'm really, really impressed with him. I hope he carries on doing what he's doing. Really impressed with Connolly. Again, I thought Connolly is getting fitter. He's looking sharper. And dare I say, he's looking like a bit of a Millwall player. You just see the way he's kind of fitted in at the moment. He's fitting in so well into our system. He seems to have this real hunger and work rate about him. And he's got the technical ability. He's got the quality. You can see the quality he possesses. The way he cuts in onto his right foot. Technically, he's a very good player. His awareness of others around him and the way he scored that goal yesterday just shows you what he's about. So I'm really, really, really pleased for him. I really hope and pray that, hopefully he's found his home this time with Millwall and we start seeing the player that we all thought Connolly would be back in his Brighton days. Another positive was Luke Cundle. I thought he looked really, really good. I think he came off with a bit of a strain on his Achilles, it seemed. Again, I don't know if he's played much in recent weeks, recent games, but he looked like he had a bit of cramp or stiffness in his Achilles. So he came off near the end. But again, really impressed with what I saw. I just love his link-up play. I love his awareness. When the ball comes, he'll just pick a little passes out wide and he'll link up play. His movement's really good. He takes up really good areas. And what I also like with Cundle as well is when we're attacking, if you watch him, he actually makes his runs into the box. At times, he's even ahead of Ivanovic, where, again, you're not talking badly of Honeyman here, but Honeyman very, very did that. I think even Fleming very, very did that when he played in the 10. But I love the determination. I love the fact that Kundal likes getting in the box. He likes getting in those areas. And we desperately need that because we are lacking goals at the moment. So having someone like Kundal who likes to get in those areas and has an eye for a goal, it's just so good to see. And again, we've only saw him once, so I'm sure we'll see a lot more of him, and I'm sure he'll get better and better as time goes on. Another positive was Bangura Williams, and because I keep talking about it, because I keep saying how well he's playing, how well he is, I don't see why I should stop saying it, because he is. Yesterday he had to do another job. Yesterday, you can see that he's been asked to do a bit of a defensive job on Powell yesterday, and he did it really well because yes, we want to see him get on the ball, yes, we want to see him attacking and making things happen, but for me, he worked so hard. He worked his socks off. He was tracking back, he was getting forward, he's winning the ball back in areas that he needs to win the ball back. And again, it just shows the quality. When he's on the ball, whether it's just keeping it simple, being a team player, or just doing something magical, he knows when to do it. He does it at the right times in the right areas. And for a young kid that's 20 years of age, it's going to get better and better. I'm so pleased for him. I just hope and pray that with all these players coming in, especially with Negley as well, I just hope that we keep him in around that team. Whether it means he starts or whether he comes off the bench, we need to give him minutes. We need to keep him keep him in the team. I'd love to actually see him in a number 8, in a central midfield role. That's where he played quite a lot for the under-21s and when I first spotted him. And I must say, when I saw him for the under-21s, I love the way he controlled games. He very rarely lost the ball. His awareness, his distribution, his pass, his link-up play was so effective there. And I think so far we've only seen him playing the 10 or as an inverted wing on the right-hand side. So, hopefully opportunity will come up when he can play central midfield one day. And whether it be this season or next season, it will happen. And we will see, again, another gear. We will see another level up from Bangura Williams. So keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully he'll get better. Another positive was Alex Neil. Again, I don't think we kind of give him as much praise and hype as we should do. I just feel that he's getting a real tune out the boys. You see the likes of Coops and Saville, and these are Harris boys. These are guys who will probably see Alex Neil coming in maybe not necessarily in a negative way, but they're probably thinking, well, you've come in and we want our old gaffer back. We've got a close tie with Neil Harris, but they've really responded really well to him. You see him talking very, very positive of Alex Neil. And what I love about Alex Neil is the way he talks to players. He's got some real great man management skills, the way he talks about players. You see him during games when he pulls them aside for like 30 seconds and he's trying to explain things to them. And you see the player nodding and acknowledging it, and we hear a lot from the players about how he goes into such detail before every game about the tactics and what he wants them to do. He knows the ins and outs of the opposition team, and he has a real plan of how to beat other teams, and I love that about him. But again, that's the experience you've got with Alex Neil. He's a championship manager, and to get 3 wins and a bounce, and rightly so. I think he's now getting he's now reaping the rewards for his effort. So hopefully this continues. And like I said, we're 4 points from a playoff place at the moment. Why can't we hope? Why can't we be positive? Let's start looking up now. Let's not look down. Let's keep pushing and keep picking up these points. And who knows what happens? There's still a long way to go. There's a lot of points to play for. I put a bet on. I put a bet on Sky Bet. I put a £10 bet we get promoted. I've got 200 to 1 odds on that. So I'm not sure what the odds are now. I'm sure they've come down quite a bit. But we could all dream and we could all hope. So let's hope that happens. Before I go, just want to say that Chris has recorded a show while he's in Africa, which is credit to him. Even on his holiday, guys, he's working for you, so he's giving you the content. And he done a kind of interview with the Sparta Potterdam podcast. I think the gentleman's name there is Shod, who talks a lot about Kanyel Negley as a player. It's about a half hour long, so you haven't seen it yet. Make sure you find it on YouTube and have a listen to it. And it's really, really good. It gives you a real kind of insight into the player and what he's about. So, again, cheers, Chris, for doing that on your holiday. Guys, all I want to say is that that's it for me. I will be returning back to the lives on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. So if you haven't tuned into the live before on a Tuesday night, make sure you do that. Me and the rest of the gang are on there, and we talk about the games coming up or the games just happened. So hopefully I'll see you on there. Thank you again. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for the lovely positive comments you've given me. I've had no negative comments about my what I've said so far. So I really do appreciate it, apart from getting the score line wrong sometimes. Oh, and my goal shit. But apart from that, it's all been quite positive. So I really do thank you for that. Thank you for the likes, guys. Again, yeah, those likes really do help. I can't stress that anymore to you. And yeah, by you doing so, you're doing your bit for charity as well. So I do really appreciate that. So again, thank you very, very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, rest of your week. This is Sunday. Where it goes out today, I'm not quite sure. It all depends how busy Chris is in holiday at the moment. But thank you again, guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you soon. All the best. Bye for now.
Hi, it's Steve Morrison here, and you're listening to Chat with Chaps, chatting Millwall, come rain or shine.